Hey everyone, so welcome to the very first Tea with Ems podcast. This is going to be something a little bit extra on the Tea and Therapy show where you get to come on and have your say. So this is the very first one. I hope you enjoy, and if you do, please like and subscribe, drop a comment below. Please be kind to these lovely ladies, and yeah, hopefully we will be doing many more. So if you want to join, there is an email. You just need to drop me a message and just put podcast in the reference bar, and I will be in contact with you. Most of you know the drill, but if you're new here, grab your drink of choice, whatever that may be, sit back, relax as we get into Tea with Ems. Hey ladies, say a little bit about yourself, whatever you're comfortable. How long you've been with the channel, and yeah, then we're gonna get into the juicy stuff.
Awesome.
Okay, so who wants to go first? Silence.
I will. Right. Hi everyone, I'm Lisa. I have been with the channel for at least a number of years now. Absolutely love it, and I'm thrilled to be a part of this podcast because there's so much to say.
I'm Kristen. I think I've been about 2 years maybe, and I'm a recent member.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. And I'm from the United States.
Welcome, both of you.
Hi, I'm Diana from Toronto. I've been with the channel probably since around December-ish. I mentioned last week when we did our first dress rehearsal that I'm kind of a new turner against the gruesome twosome. After the Paris video, I was just like, okay, something really weird going on here. So I've been following you, Em, since about December, and I've been loving every minute of it.
Wonderful.
Hi, I'm Annie. I live in Shropshire. I've been following the channel for well over a year and thoroughly loving it. Best channel for the gruesome twosome, definitely.
Love you. Thank you.
That leaves me, I guess.
It does.
I'm Alex.
Nice to
As you
meet you.
probably tell, I'm from Down Under. I've been with
Yay!
my accent doesn't give it away or anything.
No, not at all.
No, how long have I been following your channel, Ems? It's been more than a year, but probably not 2. I think I found it in a roundabout sort of a way because I wasn't specifically looking at stuff about them. I was just generally doing, YouTube suggests stuff, into certain personality disorders that may or may not be displayed by one or both of those.
Yeah.
And let's just say it's been enlightening. It's been very enlightening.
Yeah, it really has. Well, thank you, ladies. I'm really chuffed for you to be here. I'm really excited about these podcasts. I just feel that, since I spoke about it, and since obviously, I sort of talked about doing the first one, so many people have emailed me, and obviously I wanted to make sure that you guys got on first, because obviously the last week was a bit of a disaster. But so I just think this is going to be something that really has legs, and I think it's just going to be something that I think people just have a lot to say, and I think sometimes the comment section isn't enough. It's like people just want to vent, rant, talk about it, whatever it is, and I'm really chuffed to sort of have this space to kind of do that with you all, and also it's connecting with people that follow the channel as well. It's really nice to do that, so welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us. Again.
Again.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sorry I missed last week.
Oh no, that was completely understandable given, circumstances. Things happen. That's always the way life goes, isn't it? But I'm really chuffed you're here.
Yeah.
Right.
It's all good.
So who wants to kick this off with what has been going on? I know that we spoke about stuff a lot, but I feel like this is just too juicy to not talk about, like Harry's court case and all the drama that's unfolded with him coming to the UK. So who wants to start this off?
Oh my
Go
God.
on, go on.
Don't talk at once. It's like,
I know. Oh my God.
I think I said, didn't I, to you all about when was the time when you sort of realised that something was off with the two of them? And obviously, I do want to mention that obviously there was obviously you said about the Paris one was the situation that turned you off them. That was the thing that I was quite intrigued that you were sort of a support, well, maybe not a supporter, but you were sort of ambivalent. Yeah.
It's really valuable information, and a lot of people would not admit to something like that. So more power to you. Good on you.
Well, it was an eye opener.
Yeah, no, I was never a fan of her. I was like yuck from the start. I was yuck at the wedding. I was yuck before the wedding. I was like, no. Yeah. This, dare I say it, reeks of the whole Wallace Simpson type situation, not because of her past or anything, but just because of her behaviour.
Yeah.
Her behaviour is just so...
I think Wallace Simpson behaved better, actually.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, at least she sort of went along with it.
They were happy, and he did the right thing. He abdicated, and they did live happily ever after. And whereas these two, it's just one drama after another, and they're dragging everyone down with them, left and right.
Yeah. So maybe let's start with that then. So before we go into the what's kind of going on like recently, maybe let's rehash that bit of when, like Alex, you just said, you were turned off from the very beginning, and as most people know by now, mine was the engagement interview. So maybe let's go with when that moment was that you were just like, this is a no from me.
Yeah. Well, Alex, mine really came once we all saw the photos from the Inskip wedding. When she basically they'd broken up, she gate crashed, and then the evil eye, the mask dropped, the claw, and all of that came out. And
there was
honestly there was, and you could literally feel the black energy coming off of it, even just through the photo. So for me, that was like, no deal. I'm out.
Yep.
I don't remember when the hating started for me, but I know it was before the wedding. For some reason, it might have been the engagement interview or something like that. When she looked down at her ring, and I was like, that was weird.
Yeah.
And I thought that was weird. And then I just didn't like her from then on. But then again, the last Commonwealth Day, and I just saw a photo, but every single person in there, like everybody looked miserable, and she just had the biggest grin on her face. And I can remember saying to somebody, I got into a big fight with one of my family members over it. And I just said, look at her. And she said, why do you hate her so much? And I said, I really don't know, but just look at her. Like William looked like he wanted to throw up. Catherine looked so uncomfortable. Sophie looked like she wanted to kill her. Everybody looked so uncomfortable. And she just had the biggest smile on her face.
I've had similar discussions. Yeah, I've had similar discussions with family members. They're completely on team her, and I can understand why, for at least one of them. One of them's misguided. The other one is just so similar to Meghan that it's not funny. Or she's like, ugh. But yeah, and funny you mentioned the engagement interview. I actually rewatched it recently. And one thing I noted was at least once, maybe 2 times, she referred to my show. It's not your show. You have a tiny little part. You're a mattress actress. My show. Like, seriously.
Exactly.
And when everybody refers to her being from Hollywood or going back to Hollywood, she was never in Hollywood.
No, she never was.
She was filming here in Toronto. I just want to add quickly, before I turned, after that Paris video that she posted of her in the car, like I was a victim, I guess, of the mainstream media coverage, because like it's just, very glowy, and I didn't know that there was a whole other side. So I'm so glad for channels like yours and others that have opened me up to, oh my God, Like, they're hiding so much shit. Oh my God, sorry. We're allowed to swear on this?
No, that's okay. You're fine. You're fine.
Okay. Yeah. So again, I was just a victim of that. Not that, I hate to admit that, but I was. I mean, just that's all I heard and saw until that video. It was just like, okay, wait a second. So anyway, I think Anne-Marie has to go next.
Thank you. It's lovely to listen to you, ladies. It's really lovely. I think I was so looking forward to the wedding because I love a royal wedding. I'm a royalist, unashamed royalist. I thought this is going to be great. And then I know this sounds a little bit, it's a bit materialistic, but no pun intended. But I looked at a wedding dress and I went, is it finished? What's the matter with you, child? You had every designer in the world at your feet. You had, what was it? Was it Chanel or Givenchy, her dress?
Givenchy, I think.
Do they not? They know how to make some clothes. Why is it all baggy around the shoulder? And then this awful ripped screen. I know you're meant to be happy on your wedding day. Yeah. I know you're meant to be happy on your wedding day, but this cat that got the cream, I've got him now, and his
mother too.
And
mother's face
walking down the aisle, an all independent woman, and and the crazy priest. That was quite funny. Oh, and it's just the late Queen's face of that.
That said it everything, didn't it?
I mean, words.
Zara Tindall's face said everything.
And they were just, and how they couldn't speak. They were laughing under. Like, oh my God, this is just so embarrassing. And
it's the perfect word for it.
It was just embarrassing, and it was just it almost turned a royal wedding into, sorry, please, I don't meant to offend anybody, but almost like a bit of a hick wedding,
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah,
sort of, not because you expect a certain thing from a royal wedding, don't you? It's sort of this, but it seemed a bit like it was all planned at the last minute, and they were nipping off to Las Vegas.
Or Katy Perry wandering around with whatever the heck she was like. It was just so embarrassing for Americans. And all these stars, the stars, you've got George Clooney, Amal Clooney, all these, and they just almost looked like they didn't know that why they were there.
Yeah.
They were like,
they didn't invited. They'd never met them.
It's like us being sent an invitation, going, well, very nice, but I don't know why we're here, and it's all this. Now they realise they were totally manipulated.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It was a deal, wasn't it? It was like brand management or something, or whatever you call it. So
yeah.
This has nothing to do with them, but I have to say I'm a little disappointed in William for buddying up with the Kelseys. I can't stand the Kelseys. Sorry, I can't stand Taylor Swift, and now it's like a whole thing with they couldn't go to the wedding and they were invited, and I actually said to my son, I said, do you actually think that if they didn't want to go to that wedding, if they would have said, can we come to the wedding, they would have had the first row? I said, they don't want to be bothered with them. So why is he aligning himself? Because they're very political. Taylor Swift is very political, and Travis Kelce is just along for what's the saying? He's just living in her world. And for William to be on their podcast, I just felt like it was very unkingly, and I was a little disappointed. Sorry, that didn't have anything to do with the other two.
No,
but
that's okay. No, this is about whatever you want to talk about. It doesn't have to be about Harry and Meghan. I do understand where you're coming from, and I wonder if there's just this. I almost feel like they're caught between two worlds. They're caught between what they want to do personally to what they want to do as part of the monarchy. And I think, unfortunately, one decision blends into another. I think, it's almost like when we have a job. It's like an example, me as a therapist, right? I have to be very careful to some degree what I say on my YouTube channel, even though I probably get away with a little bit. But I'm also very mindful of my job. So how I want to be isn't necessarily how I will come across on the channel, because I am aware of that. And I think that that's very similar to the royal family. There is the monarchy, the institution. He is an heir to the throne. And then there's what they want to do personally. So I guess they form this personal friendship with Taylor Swift for whatever reason, and the Kelseys. But I think, like you say, it's not a good look. And I do think that maybe they're trying to almost be personable. They're trying to be like modern, if you like, but
trying to be relatable, aren't
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's
that's
exactly
right.
it. You hit the nail.
and it's getting
Well,
that balance between
right.
being down with the kids and
but
being
the
on a
funny
throne.
thing is Taylor Swift was just outed as a bully and a mean girl.
Yeah.
And they're taking this big stand, rightfully, against Meghan and the way she treated the staff. But I mean, she's literally just been outed as one of, like, with texts to prove it, trying to bully. And I just think it's a bad look. But I mean, I'm an
No,
American, so
No,
I just
you know, honestly, like I say, you're absolutely entitled to your opinion, and I certainly don't want to run something on here where people feel that they've got to be censored to how they feel, even if it's going against what, say, some majority might feel. That's not how. That's how we've got ourselves into this ridiculous state where people are so worried about saying something if it goes against the norm, or if it goes against like what other people might think. And when we have that with our friends, our family, so this is a space where if this is how you feel, this is how you feel, even if some of us don't agree with it, that's okay, right? It's like you're entitled to your own opinion.
Yeah.
But
that's what makes these podcasts good, is the fact that we can sit and we can in a virtual round table and have a discussion about all of this, because again, you don't get that forum necessarily on in the comments or anything like that. So it's a good opportunity to be able to sort of verbalize a lot of this stuff,
right, without feeling that you've got to kind of apologize in a sense for how you feel or think. That's not how we're all different for a reason. And
Yes,
sometimes
exactly.
we learn things from other people's perspectives.
I was just going to say exactly that, and
Yeah.
you read my mind. This is a learning. It's a learning thing.
Yeah.
Do you think with William and Catherine, they are almost being pushed into a certain way of behaving to a certain extent, because they're frightened of, not frightened is probably not the right word, of going against the grain a little bit. They want to stay relevant, they want to stay popular, and how do I say this? They making friends with Taylor Swift, or being friends with her because she's popular, and it keeps, and it's also, do they do things that rub the gruesome twosome's nose in it as well?
I was thinking that
Even
too.
unwittingly.
Yeah.
Even unwittingly. I don't know.
I think they're probably trying to find their feet still, because they're relatively new. So they're fairly young, and they're, with social media and everything just exploding everywhere, they really have to find a happy medium between being traditional and being relatable. And they're still
it's a fine line to tread, really, when you're thinking about it. It's and the thing is that they can see that Charles and Camilla have probably made some missteps along the way, being a little bit stuffy, being slightly unrelatable, not being a man of action, those sorts of things. So they're trying to counterbalance that, I think, in some regards, with making sure that they're being seen. And this is what the Queen said: you've got to be seen to be believed, right?
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
So I think that there's probably part of that, and counterbalancing the arguments that, well, why do we have a monarchy if all it is like what are you putting out into the world rather than taking? I think is probably part of it as well. So it's a fine line to tread.
Yeah. I mean, I think that they're going to make mistakes for sure along the way. I think they're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't, right? I think that's the unfortunate thing, being in that position, is if they don't do certain things, they get slammed for that. If they do, they people have opinions about that. But I do agree with, you've got to be careful, right? If you're aligning with people, like you say, that's come out as a bully, it's very difficult then to hold your ground, sort of going up against someone else and almost like holding someone else accountable, but you don't hold that other person accountable because they're your friend. It then starts to kind of look a bit, I'm not sure if that's necessarily especially when you're you're an heir to the throne. It's you. I think you've got to be very mindful of that.
Yeah. Ems, I've got a couple of things that I've been thinking about over the last couple of days, if that's okay, that I can bring up with everyone. And it's point number 1, which feeds into point number 2, which feeds into point number 3, because they're all sort of related. So my point number 1, and we talked about this in the last week, is the will he, won't he, are they coming, aren't they coming, et cetera, and I think we all sort of agreed that, we told you so, it was a big nothing burger. But I think that was all a distraction, as in look over here and not over here, knowing that he was about to lose the court case, of which then ended up happening, of which has now led to open season on Harry, and the G-banger coming out and now saying that she was given a little white pill.
Yeah.
So I wonder whether 1 that feeds into 2 that feeds into 3 is now all a series of subsequent events.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
What do you guys think?
Makes sense.
I didn't hear. Are we talking about Charlotte?
No. Well, yeah, Charlotte.
Okay. Oh, I didn't hear that. Wow. Oh my God.
Oh, you didn't hear that? Yeah. Okay. So
I heard that she's just I just read some headlines this morning that she's come out to tell her story, but I didn't have a chance to.
Yeah. Basically, what happened
instead
she's come out and said that Harry gave her a loyalty test, gave her a white pill that she had to swallow, and then it was all, oh well, I can trust you now.
Well, she spit it out though.
She did.
Yeah, she said,
she
didn't take it. I mean, again, we can say allegedly because we all know that. But I do believe her in saying, because I don't think you would come out with something like that.
Yeah.
I think that's absolutely Harry down to the T.
Yeah. I mean, that's disgusting. I mean, I'm going to do a video on this. Actually, it's coming out later today. I think that's absolutely abhorrent. And you know what? When I spoke about the fact that Harry got someone else pregnant, I know that certain people don't believe that theory, but this to me really does
this
play into that.
Worms.
Yeah, it does.
Wow.
I mean, it tracks now, doesn't it? That he potentially gave someone something, or he got someone drunk and did something, and this person, as a result, got pregnant, and the royal family helped cover it up.
Yeah, and it's all part of a dossier that apparently is worse than Andrew.
Yeah. Yeah, but where's the outrage? Where's the look at the outrage that everyone come out, like even their cult fans went after Andrew, went after the royal family, and it just shows you the hypocrisy, because this has come out about Harry, and I'm sure there's going to be far more, and literally they're making excuses. Well, she didn't have to take it. Well, it's her fault. She was friends with him. It's like, really?
Yeah, wow. Let's blame the victim, shall we?
Yeah. It's like there's going to be a perfect victim, when it comes to their cult fans, that they will literally just find an excuse for him in every single thing, and her. And it just blows my mind how you can not look at that and think that's disgusting.
Do you think because they're not going for Harry, the mainstream media, there is something other than the children deeper that he is going to reveal, and they're trying to keep it all quiet and say to the mainstream media, this is the royal family, keep it pushing it down, because there's some
illness of some sort?
Because there's something else going to come out other than the children. Is there something deeper?
I think
if they're protecting Harry so much, why are they protecting Harry so much?
He still thinks that they killed Diana. Which
is it that then? Is it?
I mean, I was a big fan of the royal family since I was in grade school, and I was obsessed with Diana, and and then she actually died on my birthday, and it was just,
oh my God,
so it's always been like a weird thing, and to hear a lot of the things that come out about her now kind of makes me sad, just because back in the day nobody really thought those things, but that she was in bed with the, with the reporters. And even Piers Morgan, I listened to him this morning, and he said that she used to call him several times a week and tip him off the things. But I think Harry actually believes that they killed her. And I think that they're afraid that he's going to really try to run with this more than he already has. And I mean, I'm sorry, but I like Camilla. I just feel like she's this elderly lady who, in the broad scheme of things, she did less wrong things than probably Charles and Diana together, because she was just like a regular person who had the misfortune of, well, now her misfortune turned her into a queen, but everybody, and my mother calls her horse face, and I get so mad because I said, why don't you leave her alone? What did she do? And even though I'm the biggest Diana fan, I just feel like Harry, for him to say out loud that his family killed his mother, I think that's insane.
Yeah. Well, he might actually believe that, which is probably explains a lot of his behavior. I mean, I really do. I know, Ems, you're the psychologist here, or whatever, psychiatrist, sorry, therapist, whatever it is. But yeah, I really believe he's quite disturbed, unfortunately. And I'm not being judgmental. I just feel really sorry for, whatever he's going through. But I mean, he's really unraveling. I think.
Yeah. The interesting thing is that, Harry's the first one to blame the media and say they were hacking him, and Diana was harassed and blah blah blah. But Diana was the first one to call them, and he's got 4 journalists sitting on a WhatsApp group. So the contradiction that he is living, I think he can't reconcile the two parts of his brain.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? It's like, yes, I can see this and this is what I'm doing, but I've got this going on the other side, and it's not like the two brain cells aren't colliding.
Yeah. Right. He's got 2 brain cells.
I know, lucky man.
I know. That's very bonus.
Ladies, I've just been given the 10-minute mark, so you've all got the second link, haven't you, to the other right? Okay, so just want to give you the 10-minute thing. I just want to say that I think a lot of Harry's. I don't know if I necessarily think that he personally believes the royal family killed her. I think what it is that he's blurring fantasy almost like in reality. It's like he's got anger towards his brother, anger towards his mother, because I do think that he's angry towards her. You've got to look at how he portrays her and how he talks about her and how he's used her memory. And I think there's an anger within himself and a guilt that he didn't take that phone call that night. And I think that he's jealous of William's relationship with her and her relationship with William. And I think that he's so angry and so damaged in a way, and I think that he's also got arrested development, and I think that he needs that anger to go somewhere, so he's projecting that onto his family, and it's easier for him to blame them than to actually have introspection and look inwards and think, you know what, some of this is my fault too, as in like I did some things wrong, and he was a kid at the time, and it's not really that he should be blamed for that, but I think that's how he's viewing it. And I think it's easy because it's weird as well that he blames the UK press when it happened in France, Paris. It's like it's got nothing to do with the UK press, but I think he's blurring all of that and using that as a weapon to then tackle the freedom of the press and freedom of speech, and it's like he doesn't want the negative stuff spoken about him, but he's quite happy to utilize the media when he wants to put out a statement, when he wants to have something to say. Then it's like, I'm going to run to the media. In a way, he does. I hate to say it, but he does similar to what Diana did, utilizing the media. But the thing is that Diana was a good person, and she was being very much manipulated as well. Whereas I guess that's an element of Harry, but he's also very conscious of what he's doing too, and he knows. And I think he's very manipulative and very just there's a real darkness to him, which I don't think was in Diana.
Yep, agree. Everything that you just said.
Yeah.
Do you think that basically Harry hates women?
Yes, I think he definitely gives off misogynistic vibes. 100%.
He gives. I don't know if he's a misogynist or anything, but it's just a deep hatred of women. And
I just don't think he has any respect for women.
No. Yeah. And I wonder sometimes that he isn't angry with his mother to a certain point, to a certain degree.
Great.
Angry at her for leaving the world. Is that what you're?
I think angry of putting herself in a position.
Okay.
That she was. I know there were lots of factors. There were lots of factors. But why was my mum in Paris with another man? Why wasn't she with me? She should have been with me and looking after me. She shouldn't have been having her own life, and it doesn't matter what she's been through. And why wasn't she there for me?
Yeah.
And
that's a good point.
I mean, and he kind of has a point.
Absolutely.
Truthfully.
I think absolutely. But he's twisted that quite reasonable feeling into something much darker, I think.
Yeah.
And then he set her up on a pedestal.
Would have healed from that by now, I mean, William certainly has. You don't generally hold on to something like that.
No. And I think because he is a shallow person, he's not intellectually particularly bright, and what he's got to offer the world is his mother.
Yeah.
And he can sell his mother to the highest bidder.
Disgusting.
Exactly. Because of his lack of respect for women. And William, I mean, what could William, if William wrote a book on his mother, blow me an heck.
Yeah.
But he's not going to, because she was his mother and he is protecting her memory. And I thought the two brothers agreed to just leave it alone after the 20th anniversary, didn't they?
They did,
Of her death.
Yeah, but Harry's word is basically worth nothing anyway.
He goes, yes, no. Yeah, it's just
But also with Diana's affairs and everything, and they were very, very well known right in the media, right through the late 80s and early 90s. And so he would have, as a child, he would have been aware of all of that. Like,
Absolutely.
I mean, he can read and he listens to things. So part of I think the disrespect towards women is the hatred of his mother for having the affairs and being in that position. And so therefore the disrespect against women is almost women as a thing with the ability to be able to, have those affairs and be in those sort of scenarios. And look at the end of the day, that's what I take from that.
Fascinating. That's actually really, really fascinating.
It is interesting though that he does, because see, the thing is, Charles was carrying on with Camilla before and during the time they got married, and afterwards I don't think he ever stopped his affair with her. So why isn't he mad at his father?
Exactly.
His affair did stop after they got married, after Charles and Diana got married,
until
after Harry's.
Didn't he wear cufflinks from Camilla or something on his wedding day?
He did.
Like, that is so disgusting.
It's a weird thing.
He
was not, and he sent her a bracelet. With G and G, because I think they call each other George and Gladys. I think it was. I can't remember. But supposedly, he did stop his relationship with Camilla until after Harry's birth, when he knew basically that's got an heir and a spare, and their marriage was going down the pan. He could see it, and he was unhappy, so he went back to Camilla.
But just to say that we're always going to get kicked out in a minute. I kind of want to just wrap this little bit up, but I think this is very, very interesting. And when you have anything like that, when especially in men that target women, when you look back, a lot of them, it starts with having issues with their mother. And you're now looking at this thing which is about the pill, and look at the things that he said in his book as well about the teacher. It really does, like you say, show this utter disdain, and I think we can say misogynistic, the way he's spoken about his mother. I mean, look at the frozen Todger and like the Oedipus complex. He's just a real darkness there, and he's never healed from that. And because I think William, in my opinion, had it far worse, and he was a lot older to dealing with all of this, but he took on the role of parent to Harry, so I
agree,
had to take on everything.
He was parenting his mother and Harry.
Yeah, exactly.
He was parenting everyone. He had
do you think Harry wants to get over this though? Do you think he wants to?
No, he loves being a victim.
Does he?
But it's like when a lot of people, when they're hurt, they act out in anger. And I think William has always been that safety net for him, the one that's always forgiven him, made it better for him. Yeah. And I don't think it's really his father. I think it's his brother. And it's almost shocked him that his brother has not just shut the door, but locked the door and barricaded it. You're not coming back in. And I think to Harry,
a good
because
point.
he's got away with things for it's his entire life, and his brother has always made it better, that I think the fact that that's now been shut down, it's almost like he's there banging on the door. And ladies, I just want to thank you very much for coming on. And obviously you're going to stay for the second part, which is now going to be going up on Patreon. So for anyone that wants to go and view that, they can. But I just want to thank you so much for your patience and coming on here for the second time after the first one going wrong. You've been amazing, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And I hope you'll come on again.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Em.
Yay, thanks, Ems.
Yay.
Thank
Bye.
you. We're loving it. So much fun.
And I just want to say thank you to Kristen, because obviously she's had to go. But Kristen, thank you also, because I'm sure you're going to watch this back, and you've been amazing. And right, ladies, so we're going to sign off here, and then obviously we are just going to keep going for the second part. So thank you, everyone. Please like and subscribe, and see you soon.
Bye.
Thank you for watching part 1. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope this is something that we will continue to grow. As I said, if you want to join, the email address is below in the description box, so please join in. Come be part of this growing community. Come and have your say. And part 2 will be going up on Patreon, so please go across and subscribe over there. Hopefully the next one will be coming up in the next couple of weeks. So I hope you've enjoyed. Drop a comment, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next installment of Tea with Ems. And as you know, I love you, I appreciate you, but most of all, I respect you. Take care. Bye bye. Mwah.